The billionaire who owns Aston Villa left Britain. Then he told everyone why. Right, when a billionaire leaves the country, they normally do it without a sound. The registered address changes, a flight takes off, and that's that. Nassef Sawiris did the opposite. The man who owns Aston Villa packed up his tax residency, moved it out of Britain, and then sat down with the Financial Times and told them exactly why. And what he said should frighten the Treasury far more than the leaving did, because he didn't talk like a man dodging anything. He talked like a customer who'd had enough. Stay with us because this is a real, documented, completely legal example of what's happening at the top of this country right now. How a billionaire actually moves, what it costs, and the line he gave that sums up the whole problem. Subscribe. This channel explains what the wealthy really do legally every week. And a like puts it in front of the people who think none of them ever leave. Nassef Sawiris, Egyptian billionaire, head of the industrial giant OCI, and to most people in this country, the co-owner of Aston Villa. Net worth, depending who you ask, somewhere around $8.5 to $9.5 billion estimates, so take them with a pinch of salt. But the point is, he is seriously globally rich. And in early 2025, he moved his tax residency out of the UK to Italy, with his family office heading to Abu Dhabi. The timing is the tell. He went right as Britain tore up the rules that had kept people like him here for decades. So what did Britain change? For decades, the UK had the non-dom. Live here, but keep your foreign money outside UK tax unless you brought it in. It's why a certain kind of global rich person made London home. From the 6th of April 2025, gone. Now if you're a UK resident, the UK taxes your worldwide income. And it gets worse for a man like Sawiris because inheritance tax went the same way. Live here long enough and your entire worldwide estate, billions of it, sits inside UK inheritance tax at 40%. For someone whose wealth is overwhelmingly outside Britain, that's not a tweak. That's the whole game changing. So he left. And here's where it gets clever and completely above board. Italy offers new residents a deal. Pay a flat fee and all of your foreign income, however enormous, is covered. When Sawiris moved, that fee was €200,000 a year. Now, €200,000 sounds like a lot, but think about who's paying it. A man with hundreds of millions in income from all over the world. For him, a flat 200 grand isn't a tax rate, it's a rounding error, a membership fee. And here's the honest bit, because the internet always gets it wrong, that 200,000 only covers his foreign income. Anything he earns inside Italy is taxed normally. It isn't free. It's a hard 200,000 a year plus more for, per family member, and he has to genuinely live there. This only works if the move is real. So the comparison isn't 200,000 versus 45%. It's the total tax on the same global fortune. The UK way, worldwide income plus a 40% estate against the Italian way. A flat fee on the foreign lot. On his numbers, it isn't close. Now, most people in his position leave and say nothing. Sawiris talked to the Financial Times, and the quotes are extraordinary because he's not defensive, he's blunt. On who's to blame, he said this was, in his words, all in the making for 10 years, and he pointed the finger squarely at the politicians, not the party everyone expected. He said wealthy entrepreneurs have options and that the Chancellor should treat them like they are her best clients. And the killer line on the exodus around him, he said he didn't know a single person in his circle who wasn't moving. Forget the politics of it. Hear what it actually means. The man who paid a fortune into this country is on the record saying he and everyone like him is leaving, and that the government treated its biggest contributors like a problem instead of an asset. That's not a tax dodge, that's a warning. Quick one, and I read every reply. Yes or no? Do you think the wealthy should be able to leave if the tax gets too high? Yes or no in the comments. Now, before anyone thinks this is a free pass, the same catches apply to him as to anyone. Anything UK based, like UK property, is still taxed here. Leave as a long term resident and a tail of up to 10 years follows your estate. It only works if you genuinely live there, not a paper move, and the Italian deal is a real annual cost, not nothing. He'll still pay UK tax on anything that stays in Britain. The inheritance tax tail still follows a long term resident's worldwide estate for years after leaving, and it only works because the move is real. He actually lives the life. Tick a box and stay put, and none of it holds. But the lesson underneath is the one this whole channel keeps coming back to. The wealthy are the most mobile people in the country. Push them past the point where it's worth staying, and they don't complain, they just relocate. Sawiris just had the nerve to say it on the way out. See, here's the takeaway. This is what's actually happening at the top legally in the open, documented at Companies House. The people who built the wealth are doing the maths and deciding Britain costs too much. And whether you're a billionaire or a business owner with a few million, the principle is identical. Residence is the biggest lever there is, but only if you pull it properly. That's what we do at CT Private Office. Not a one-way ticket and a prayer. A proper plan, residence, income, estate, structured so you keep what you built, whether you stay or you go. If you've reached the point where you're asking the same questions Sawiris did, apply for a review at apply.ctprivateoffice.com, on screen, in the description, and in the pinned comments. Well, don't take everyone, but if this is you, you already know it. Like this, if you think the country should be keeping these people, not chasing them off, subscribe, a famous name, and a real tax lesson every week. And tell me yes or no in the comments, should the wealthy be free to leave?